DSN TV, showcasing the ability in disability. This program is brought to you by the PA People. For more information, just go to their website at papeople.com.
Atlanta, Georgia, proudly brought to you by the PA People, supported by the IPSA Goalball Subcommittee. Here with Tony Telfer, Matthew Boyle, and in his office in Sydney, Murray Elborn.
Hey, Matthew Boyle's down there.
Matthew Hines, I should say.
I was just going to say. Unless him and I have switched, although I wish we switched bodies, he is super thin.
There you go.
Oh my God, I would love to have that body.
Next ball into the centre, laid off to the left winger for the Empire. Goes across court, but that's going to go very, very early.
Boy, Georgia's getting thumped in the other court. Is it Josh who's playing centre for them?
Delaware. Wait, are you talking about George? Because Josh Wellborn's playing centre, yes. Josh Wellborn.
Yeah, he just let one right underneath his rib cage.
Can you tell who they're playing, Muzz? The Money Men?
I'm 100% sure right now, but I think it's Omega.
Omega? Wow, okay. And the score in that game, as they said?
So I'm not sure of the score. It's not up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard to see the scoreboard. Well, thanks to you for the updates, at least.
But I know that they've been scored on at least 4 times.
Wow, that's really...
Next ball, cross-court ball from the AB down the far end into B. Pass across to Joe Hamilton from Victor Hercopian. Goes with a discus throw. Goes down the line. The ball's fractured, but lands in front of the right winger on this occasion. Again, runs around behind. Hooks it back in, but hooks it back straight into Victor Hercopian's chest.
Empire have kind of seized a little bit of control of their defense now and have started to really play good.
They have, and, well, Abel Del Toro throws the next ball across court ball, but their accuracy has deserted them. They're trying to do too many other things. I think just stick with what scored you the goals in the first place. There's a great ball down the line for the...
Well, I think I don't necessarily believe that going after Joe Hamilton is the right opportunity for them.
No.
I think you really got to attack Victor's extremities. Muzz, you can speak to this, but going after Victor across his body at his feet?
Yeah, and you got to put a little bounce and top spin. Same with Abel. When Australia played Abel in Los Angeles last year, we really went hard at his hands and at his feet, going across him both ways, and he was flipping in quite a few goals. So they've really got to go hard across the bodies with some top spin bounce, I think.
Next ball, bouncing ball heading towards the... Off Hamilton, beat Victor Hercopian. But Hamilton kicked it forward. Hercopian receives, passes across to Del Toro. Del Toro with the flat ball going across court. Ball's out. Blocked out. Picked up. Runs across. Goes for the cross-court ball into Del Toro, though. Del Toro takes his time. Passes the ball across now to Hamilton. Hamilton from about 2 metres in. Goes for the C post. And blocked out on this occasion. The defence has certainly tightened up from the Empire now.
Well, we're seeing... Go ahead, Murray.
I was just going to say that's a good cross-court ball by Joe. He really had to stretch in that corner to get that blocked out.
Well, we're really seeing the Crown attack the corners and really avoiding trying to go through the gaps right now. And they're being just too fine with those corner shots, just missing outside the posts.
Cross-court ball blocked out by Joe Hamilton. Joe Hamilton now picks up the ball, goes in a couple of metres to his right, goes for the gap, straight into the gap between B and C, or A and B I should say, and into the back of the net.
See, as soon as I say that.
Beautiful placement right in that gap. Really nice shot.
And that's why they need to go back to those gaps. So...
Well, maybe what they were doing was trying to pull the wingers into the posts a bit to open up that gap.
Well, that's true. Could have been strategy. It's something I should have tried when I coached. Is strategy.
Or just...
I'll try it with the juniors. There's another great ball. This time the other side of Alfonso in the centre down there.
Oh, it's a great curve. It's a great cross bounce ball there by Victor. Completely fooled the centre player.
So the score is now 8-1 in favour of the Crown. Ball down the line. Hamilton blocks this ball out. Sorry, Muzz?
I was just saying the wingers have changed for the Empire. They've swapped wings.
Yes, yeah. Hamilton now. Oh, flat ball hits Alfonso. You can hear the grunt from here. Alfonso picks it up and pushes the ball out.
Now McFadden looks a little bit.
To
like
me, that was a throw.
He looks a little bit like a pinata out there.
Yep. Anyway, Del Toro comes across, takes the ball from Hamilton. Where's he going to put this one here? Should put it in the gap, and he's gone for the gap, but too much centre. Ball's bounced up, and it's been knocked in by the winger. So, goal to the Crown. Crown now lead 9-1.
Bit of a falcon there, and it seemed like he headbutted that into the net.
Yeah, it did. And Alfonso is really, he's working hard in the centre, but they're really hurting him. So, Austin looks like. Goes down the centre. Hakopian there, the ball bounces, deflects off him. Picked up by Del Toro. Bouncing ball, aiming at Alfonso. The ball fractured again, this time it gains in front of Alfonso. Goes and collects it himself, takes the throw himself. High ball for... No, it's number 4 actually. Who's number 4? I thought it was
He
Alfonso.
just stopped with the right winger, the left winger in the centre.
So number 4 to defend, to take this to a 1-goal result possibly.
So he's going to go down this right road.
What a magnificent throw. What a magnificent throw straight into the A post. So the score is now 10-1. And we've still got
this game.
2:17 to go in the half. Del Toro fumbles the ball in front of him, retrieves it, heads back to his mark. Official time, equipment check, so it's obviously taken Del Toro's... Yep, taken Del Toro's face mask almost all the way off.
They need to put this this team to bed now. They need to get out of it before half time and save their big saving for them going into a semi-final, only having to play a half in the quarter-final.
Yep, that's right. And look, the Crown have looked good, Murray. The way they've played with 3 players, they've worked well together.
They're doing simple things right, and Victor's playing good centre for the most part, not trying to cover too much court. And while ever they do the simple things right, they're in a big chance of winning this.
Right, here we go. Del Toro throwing from the centre, goes for that gap, and the ball's up and over the back of the net, over the corner of the net and out. There's a little bit of heat on that one there. Ball's been passed across now to the centre for the Renegades. Into the centre goes the ball. There's a slight fumble by Victor then. Equipment check. So, and it's this time it's Victor.
Victor's blindfold just cannoned off his head.
Yeah, that's it. So
now, Muzz, they only have 3 players going through this tournament. You think that's going to catch up to them as they get into the semis and finals?
They're going to have to play hard at Goalball, and yeah, I think, but they've coasted a little bit too. So, whilst other teams have been, fighting it out, they've pretty much gone through pretty easily in most cases.
And that's why they need to finish this game off now.
Austin, it'll be a big advantage for them to finish it before half-time here.
Austin with the ball, sends it across to Abel Del Toro. Del Toro now. Bounce ball across court, ball on this occasion, but goal. And that is game, so a good result there for the Crown. Look, Empire were just outclassed in that game.
Yeah, it didn't look like they were ready for the onslaught that happened in the first 2 minutes, and when they got 4-0 up Crown after the first 2 minutes, they were home. And, the good thing is they kept going. So, much like, I told the Australian team when we were playing teams like Mongolia, for example, you have to keep going, you have to wipe them off and take them out. So, Crown did that today, and they'll be confident going into a semi-final now.
And Empire should have known better. I mean, they played them earlier in pool play, very first game, and they saw what they're capable of. And they got wiped out 12-2 in that game, 11-1 in this game. So 23 to 3 in 2 games. They're not doing something right as far as how they're attacking this matchup.
No, that's right. I mean, and that's the thing. And I mean,
Sometimes you're just overmatched.
This is right. And of course, we saw a big thing with the change from the game earlier on today compared with the change now. In what has happened with the performance of the way the Crown performed in this game here compared to the earlier game, where they had a comfortable win, but they looked sluggish. They looked as if they weren't switched on, and maybe taking a little bit easier. And hello to Sally. He's again sent another message through. Nice to have Sally. He listens to everything we do, I'm sure.
That's good.
Too easy, Sally, that game. Too easy.
That's it. Well, that would Sally's words be. Now, I believe lunch is now. Is that correct, Matt?
That's what I've been informed of, that lunch is ready.
So Muzz will get his bike down to KFC.
Yeah, don't have to go too far, but I've got some wicked wings in the fridge.
I cannot. I really, really want a Zinger burger right now. Actually, Zinger double.
Uncle, there's none for you, unfortunately.
There's always some for me.
Now, I'm just having a look at the clock here, and according to the clock, if this is the time for the next game to start, it's another hour and a half away.
Yeah, looks like it. 1 hour, 30 minutes.
1 hour, 32 minutes, which is, to me, is a bit ridiculous.
I might also try and get a little bit of sleep and come back to you guys. And
by all means. Yeah, come back for the finals.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Come on back now.
You'll come back now, you hear?
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Have a good one, and I'll be back a little bit later with you guys.
All right, cheers. Thanks very much, Muzz.
Cheers. See you guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
And look, we've got to give great thanks to Murray and to Troy for coming in to give their expert comments during this tournament. Obviously, very early in the morning in Australia.
Absolutely. It sounded like Troy was doing a little yard work in the back.
No, it's just Troy's heavy breathing.
Oh. our Australian Darth Vader, huh?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I think, is we'll endeavour to get a wrap, but I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to, but I think we're looking at a long time before the next game.
Yeah, about an hour and 10, 15 minutes.
An hour and a half, according to this. An hour and 32 minutes. So...
that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But what we will do is we might chuck on a few...